Hi guys. So, despite me saying that I was probably going to combine Bachelor in Paradise episodes into at least two per podcast episode, turns out I'm actually going to do episode 4 as its own episode because there's a lot that is going on with this episode. So that's what we're going to do. Bachelor in Paradise episode 4. So let's just jump right into it. So the first thing that happens that I'm sure everyone knows at this point is that Sam has gone home, and I feel for her. I feel really bad for her, but it's definitely not healthy to go 10 days without pooping. So she needs to go and deliver that poop baby. And I guess we'll get an update at the tell-all. And part of me kind of hoped that Aaron would go as well, but I mean, chances are he still will be. So, we'll see what happens, I guess, with that. But, yeah, I wish her all the best. So there's that happened. So the next major thing that happens is that John Henry, who was on Charity season, which I know the name, but for whatever reason, I don't remember him. And I don't remember him being on her season. But anyways, he shows up on the beach and he kind of came in here saying that he was kind of feeling Kylie and he wanted to go on a date with Kylie. And I'm like, good luck to you, sir. And he does talk to her and she does say, like, go out with someone who you're really clicking with and don't be nervous. Everyone's like, I think that's the way she was trying to make him see, like, I'm probably not going to go on a date with you. You're cute, but like, she's all in on even. So then he ends up talking to Olivia and he ends up giving her the date card, which ends up going really well. But from what we know, she is been kind of forming this relationship with Peter. So she does immediately after being given the date, talks to Peter and says like where her head's at and everything like that. And, yeah, so she handles it very differently. And she kind of points that out. So like, being on the other end of things, like I want to handle this properly. So she does go on the date though, like I said, and it seems to go really well. But she comes back from the date. She kissed John Henry and she comes back from the date and she talks to Peter immediately, pretty much, kind of left in this place where anything could happen kind of thing. But then goes back and talks to John Henry and they seem to be doing really connecting really well. She seems to just glow. Like at one point he puts his hand on her leg and you can tell she's getting really flustered by it. And yeah, like I think they really are getting along really well. But because like Peter can see this, obviously, he has to talk to her again. And I'm like, that's weird. You just talk to her. But they talk again and he kind of is like, I really wanted to kiss you, but I've been waiting for the right moment. And she kind of looks at him and she's like, well, is now the right moment? Like, because he kind of goes in to lean in and give her a kiss. And he kind of awkwardly, because it was awkward, like he kind of did like the hitch, like the Will Smith and what's his face? Kevin James hitch type situation where he goes 90 and then you come 10. This is very weird. And she's like, you gonna come in? Like, the heck? So they do kiss. She says that the kiss was good. And now she's kind of in the situation of like, who am I gonna pick? I don't know who I'm gonna pick. She's like, I want both of them, but I can't have both of them. So we're seeing this conflict with that. And the next thing that ends up happening is John, who is also from Charity season. And the best way, how can I describe him that doesn't talk about his race? But for those who remember him, I think he was let go when they were in Seattle, not Seattle, like some Washington, where they were in Washington. I think that was the week he was let go. And yes, it was that week because he was mad at Brayden, that Brayden like ruined the time he could have had with her. Like it would have made a difference or something. Anyway, so he comes in, and I can't remember if he mentioned if he was kind of wanting to talk to somebody. I can't remember. But I like him. I really do like him. I kind of wanted him to stick around a little longer than he did on Charity season, but whatever. And he comes in and he ends up talking to Eliza. And Eliza is the one who gets the date. So Eliza immediately says, okay, can I just have a moment to have a conversation? And she says to Aaron, they can talk. And it was so fucking confusing. She kind of talked in circles about how, last time I was here, I was so narrow-minded and closed off. And I think that's what really ruined my experience. And I don't want to be closed off. Like, the only person I've been having eyes for is you. But, like, I think that's what screwed me over last time. So that goes to show that you haven't learned jack shit. Did you watch that season? Did you see the bullshit you pulled? No, that is not what fucking happened. Because you weren't narrow-minded. You weren't closed off. You went on a fucking date with Justin. And if you want to sit here and say that because you ended up picking Rodney over another one, or picking Rodney over Justin, and that's what made you come across as narrow-minded, I'm just like, no one told you to do that. You made that decision by yourself. Even though she wanted to blame people, because again, even then there was blame. She blamed everyone else but herself, because she literally was like, because like everyone was like really pushing me to pick Rodney because everyone really likes Rodney. So because of that, I picked Rodney, but really I wanted to pick Justin. I think you would have been better off if you just picked Justin and then you end up not staying with Rodney. You leave and then you go to Justin and then Justin tells you to fuck off. That's what happened. So for her to sit here and say that being closed off and narrow-minded is the reason that she didn't have a good experience last time is utter bullshit, and it goes to show you haven't learned anything. But anyway, that is the bullshit she spews to Aaron. That's the shit that he believes, which is not the case. I don't know if he watched Bachelor in Paradise last season. I don't know. But he's like, she was close off and she didn't blah, blah, blah. Like, he believes her shit. And she ends up going on the date with John. And it's not a hit on John because I like John. He should be able to find somebody here. But, or at least try to. But it's the thing of, you're doing it again. As you're doing it again. You're doing this thing and everyone is seeing your bullshit. Because later on, I think it was Sean that said, she's playing games, basically. I can't remember exactly what it was that he said, but he kind of made this comment of, she's saying like, she doesn't want to be closed off in your mind or some shit like that. But like, you're kind of playing games. I think I can't remember exactly. I wish I remembered exactly what he said, but yeah, I'm just like, she's full of shit. Nothing's changed, and it pisses me off. I'm so angry because he doesn't deserve that. And I mean, Aaron's not my favorite. I like John, but no one deserves that. And I just see her repeating her old patterns. She's glutton for punishment. So you get what you sow. You reap what you sow at this point. So we'll see kind of what happens. It looks like the day went well. I kind of blocked some shit out, but it kind of looked like it went well. We had a mariachi band. So yeah, it's great. So the next thing, the big thing, the thing that wait, so before I say that, Wells has decided he wants to do a truth box, and he's going to open the truth box the next night and read some of the truths. Moving on. So, full disclosure, at the point that I am recording this, I've only reached about a little more than halfway through the episode, so I still have a little more to go. So, here we go. I guess somewhere around the way, Sean has now decided that he wants to explore his options. And he feels like there hasn't been much of a spark between him and Rachel. This is what he says. And he's like, I really haven't felt anything with anyone since, talking to Jess that first day. So he goes and he talks to Jess. And he's like, are you all in on Blake? Or like, have you seen Blake? She's all in on Blake. And he's like, you all in on him? Like, are you willing to explore other connections? Like, what's up? And Jess says that, her and Blake have talked about being open to other connections, opening their communication, I guess, about that with each other. But it's only really if they want to explore something with someone else. And Sean's like, so there's a chance. No, there's no chance. He kind of basically says, like, okay, so you would explore connections, but just not with me. And she's like, you're a really nice guy. And, I really did like our conversation. I just don't see it. Which, I mean, yeah. She's just basically, Sean, she's just not that into you. Because even then, like, he's like, I just wish you would, like, just outright just tell me, just be honest with me. And you kind of see her kind of like half roll her eyes because Sean, she already told you. She told you. Read between the lines, honey. She just told you. If she wanted to pursue something with you, she would have just said so. Idiot. But yeah, he says, yeah, okay. And the whole thing for him, the reason that he wanted to explore this connection or whatever, is because they both like Taylor Swift. Listen, if the only thing you can base some sort of connection on is the fact that you both like to listen to style, then I don't know what to tell you. That's not a connection. That's just, you're just fans of the same person. That's it. Moving on. That goes absolutely nowhere. But then, Brayden, I know you're still in there a little bit. He basically says, this really kills me to see this because, with everything that I was going through with Kat, the people who came to talk to me, to comfort me, like that was Rachel. And I think he mentioned somebody else, but I can't remember who that was. Maybe Aaron. And he's like, I feel bad for her. Like, I want her to not be made to look like a fool, basically. Like, I feel like I should talk to her. Partially the reason he wants to go talk to her is because he's feeling her and he probably wants to try and connect with her. Let's be real here. Because of everything that we know that there is a connection that happens between Rachel and Brayden. So yeah, he kind of says this. So he goes and he decides he wants to talk to Rachel, and he kind of interrupts a conversation between Tyler and Rachel. And he sits down and he talks to her, and he basically says, listen, I want to be honest with you because you were there for me. I want to be there for you. And that is that Sean told me, and maybe some of the other guys, that he knows you like him, but he still wants to pursue things with Jess. And Rachel's like, the fuck you say? Basically. And she's like, I'm so mad right now. Like, I need to talk to him. I'm sorry. Thank you for this. But like, I'm just mad. I need a minute. So I guess she goes and she finds Sean and she's like, let's talk. And she says, why is everyone, like, let me phrase, why am I hearing that, I like you or whatever, but you want to still pursue things with Jess? Like, what's going on here? And he doesn't deny that he says it. He does first ask, who told you this? And she's like, Brayden. And but he doesn't deny it. Let that be on the record. He never once denies it. He says, okay, yeah, like, I just feel like I haven't explored anything else here. I've been kind of just all in on you. And I do want to, like, explore other connections. And she's like, okay, but like, there's a way. And she's like, but I want to seriously build a real connection with somebody. And if you're not feeling that, like, you're not feeling that, but like, don't let me be the last to know. It's a great Britney Spears song on Oops, I Did It Again. Go take a listen if you haven't. Anyway, like, she's just upset. And he's like, but like, if I want to explore that with Jess, I think, like, I don't think it's going to work out anyways. Like, I want to explore things with you. And she's like, correction, the conversation with Jess didn't go well or didn't go the way you wanted it to. So since it didn't go well, you're just resorting back to me. It's basically what he's saying here. It didn't go good with her, so because let's stick to this, because at least this rose is guaranteed for me. And I mean, honestly, I don't know what's worse. Sean just backpedaling back to Rachel because it's convenient for him, or Brayden breaking bro code, but I'm gonna say Sean. Honestly, I don't care that Brayden broke bro code. He deserves it. But after all of this, though, Rachel says, okay, I just need some space. I need space from you. And so they kind of go their separate ways. And she goes and she wants to talk to Brayden. She says, can you tell me, like, everything that you were told? And I guess that she's about to, like, or he's about to start answering her or say something to her, or whatever. In comes Sean, because Aaron's also there. And Rachel's like, which part of I need space didn't you fucking understand? Like, what the fuck are you doing here? And he's like, well, my friend is here. And he points to Aaron, because obviously he's mad at Brayden. And he's like, well, my friend is here. And she's like, okay, but this is a big fucking beach. Can you go somewhere else? And he's like, okay, fine. Aaron, come with me. And him and Aaron walk away. And so we already know, because I'm like, in my brain, I'm thinking, okay, I know Rachel and Brayden started connection based on what we were told at the tell-all, after the final rose, on charity season. We know this happens. So how does this happen? Because Brayden was with Kat, that's no longer the case. Sean's with Rachel. So how did that happen? Clearly Rachel does not give Sean the rose. So, but so far that's where I'm at. And we're going to take a little tiny break here, and then I will continue the rest of my thoughts. Then the kind of last little bit that happens with this episode is that Aaron, aka Firefighter, he, I guess, decides that he wants to go down in a blaze of glory, and he ends up smashing the box thing that Wells started, and he basically reads pretty much everything that's there has to do with the situation between Brayden and Kat. And it's basically kind of saying, like, Kat did Brayden dirty and all of that. So it's kind of clear here that I think Firefighter is the one who wrote all of this stuff down, because Kat later is kind of like, why are we still talking about this? This was a few days ago. I'm a respectable person, some shit like that. And it's like, okay, be aware of what's going on around you, kind of thing. But anyways, I think he definitely did. I guess he also takes the opportunity to talk to her, because I think she didn't want to talk to him, and kind of is just like, I don't have to explain anything to you, and this and that, and blah, 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 and whatever. And she says that, like, the men here are acting like kids, and then blah, blah, blah. It's like, okay, again, you kind of created this, kind of on you. Anyway, switching gears, we still have the issue going on between Sean and Brayden, having to do with Rachel. And basically, he does talk to Brayden, because, like, Brayden broke bro code. Give it up. You kind of did it to yourself. But anyway, and he sits down with Firefighter, Sean does, and they're kind of just like, this is probably it for us. We're probably going home tonight. We need some sort of miracle to happen. And Firefighter basically says, like, I feel like there's really nothing here for me since Sam left. Anyways, like, I think he's perfectly okay with going home. Although if the opportunity presents itself, he'll stay. But, yeah, I think he's pretty over it. And Sean's like, we just need a miracle to come down and make this better. And what do we see but someone coming down the stairs to make things maybe a little easier and a little better? But we'll see. Anyway, that's basically all my thoughts on episode 4, Bachelor in Paradise. Now, full disclosure, I am recording the second half, or not even second half, more like the last quarter of this, literally about 2 or 3 weeks later. So I know I'm behind. We're going to be catching up. Maybe you'll get some Bachelor in Paradise during the hiatus. We'll see. But, yeah, that's basically it for episode 4 of Bachelor in Paradise. Again, as always, we keep this very simple. If you want to connect with us, you can do so by going on Facebook at Reality Tea Times 2, Instagram and Threads at Reality Tea Times 2 Podcast, X at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod, Reddit at Reality Tea Times 2 Pod. You can email us at realityteatimes2@hotmail.com. And don't forget, you can subscribe to our YouTube page at Reality Tea Times 2. You can comment on any of the videos. You will get a response from me. And yeah, we have that. And you can also find us on any of your other favorite podcast apps. And you can rate and subscribe. Not rate and subscribe, just rate and review on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify, where I will read the 4 and 5 star reviews. But that is it for this episode. Thanks again, guys, for your patience. Bye.